Hi everyone, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
My
Good
name is
afternoon.
Fadhila Olatunde
Okay.
and I'm presenting my final project, Recipify. I did this in
We we we
addition with
we,
my
we
colleague. We did this together. His name is Rilwan Adebayo.
yeah.
So our project is called Recipify. It's a simple recipe app that allows you to explore recipe from other parts of the world. Our tagline is cook what you have, love what you make. That is, you can find basic recipes with all of the ingredients and the processes to create them in the app, and then you would also love those things because aside from the instructions, you also have videos to show you specific ways to do it. So there's a high chance that your recipes will come out well. Next slide, please. So our problem statement. The first problem is that we believe that deciding what to cook is a daily struggle for a lot of people, especially when ingredient time and inspiration are limited. I'm sure a lot of us are tired of eating rice. Every time rice, rice, rice. You might want to explore something new and basic. And one of the problems that people also have, aside wanting to eat something different, is they don't know how to prepare that thing. So we are solving the problem of finding resources that are scattered online. You have a lot of resources in one place and you're able to navigate it without distractions. The third problem is many users want to explore new cuisines, but they don't know where to begin. So you might feel like, oh, a lot of us watch K dramas. I watch K drama a lot, so I feel like I want to be able to replicate so some of the movies that, some of the foods that they show in the movies and all of that. So this our recipe app can help you explore recipes like that. And then the third one is there's a lack of simple organized way to browse recipes based on what is already available. If you look at a lot of recipes app they just give you a bunch of things. There's no way to like navigate around them and all of that. So I'll solve the problem of simplifying the navigation. Next slide. So the solutions that we have come up with. So as I mentioned, Recipify is a centralized recipe discovery platform that makes finding your next meal simple, organized, and enjoyable. You don't have to be faced with ads, you don't have to be faced with a bulk of things, and you don't have to make decisions. So one of the ways we simplify that is through alphabetical browsing. So you can find recipes based on their first letters, and you can also find it based on any word that you can remember within the recipe. You can use smart search, that is just as I've mentioned, a word, you can't remember the exact name of the recipe, you can remember what it sounds like. And then the third feature is global cuisine. So you have access to recipes that are beyond your own local areas. I remember that while we were doing wake, we're surprised because we're seeing like Arabian food,
Sure.
and we're also able to find wake on this on the app, and the the other recipes that are there or the other foods that are there are different from the local cuisines. Even the name is different from what we are familiar with. And then another interesting one is you can filter it by area. So if you want a food from Milan or you want a food from Ireland, you can use the name of the area to search for the food. So the objectives and aim of the app is, the first one is to build a responsive, user-friendly web application for discovering recipes. The second one is to allow users to browse recipes alphabetically for easy navigation. You don't have to be confused about what to do. If you are looking for a particular recipe, you can easily just go for what sounds like it instead of browsing through a bunch. Third one will be to enable filtering of recipe by area or cuisine name and instructions. So these recipes are not just list of ingredients. The fourth one is to expose users to international cuisines and broaden their cooking origin. So if you are bored of cooking a particular type of food, you can decide to explore and you can browse through a bunch of other recipes to look through. The fifth one is to consume and integrate a third-party API for real-time recipe data. So we believe that there's a limit to how much recipe we can upload as individuals. So we had to use an API that has a lot of recipes based on areas and has different features. When we're looking at the features of the API, I think it has like 59 items that you can pick from, but we only picked 3. We picked the name, area, instruction, and a YouTube video link. There are a bunch of other things that you can pick from the API. And then the sixth one is to apply core front-end concepts such as component-based architecture, routing, and responsive styling. So we built this majorly with React, and then we used it to demonstrate the key things that we have learned while building our React knowledge. Next slide. So who is Recipify for? Recipify is for 4 key group of people. The first one is home cooks. You are at home and you are always looking for new things to cook. If you enjoy cooking and you want to cook beyond basic, Recipify is for you. If you're a food enthusiast and you want to explore other global cuisines, Recipify is for you. If you're a beginner, you need step by step. As I mentioned, that each of the recipes come with instructions, ingredient list, as well as embedded YouTube videos for you to follow. And then casual browser, you just want to. Some of us find comfort in looking through meals, just watching meal videos and seeing how things are prepared. Next slide, please. So, how does Recipify work? Recipify follows a simple client-driven architecture. The React frontend communicates directly with the MealDB. This is the API that we use, and it displays each recipe data in real time. Although there might be like a sort of delay in getting the recipe, this is because it has to come through a bunch of data to bring that particular thing that you're searching for. So the simple way it works is the user interacts with the Recipify interface, that is the web app, based on instructions or the action that you take. The React app handles moving from one page to the other, like moving from maybe a component or what you have clicked on to perform that particular action. And then when you get to the point where you need to view a recipe, the API returns this recipe data that we have saved in all of the components that we have built to the React app. And then the UI, rendered UI, that is, the data is displayed the way we have designed it in our own user interface. So the tech stack, the things that we use to build this app is we use React, as I've mentioned, React Router DOM, because we have to move between multiple pages. We use CSS to style this, and then we also consumed the MealDB API, and then we also used reusable components. We didn't just put everything in a particular page. We have reusable components like buttons, footers, navbar, and then our hero sections, and we use them consistently across pages. So the component breakdown, breakdown of the components that we use to build the app. We have pages, the home page, which is where you land first, where you can see the hero section. You can browse by letter from the home page, and then there are key call to actions. You can see filters for your recipe on the home page. You can also, filters for recipe on the home page. We also have recipe detail page that you get to where you click on your filters from the home page. We have an alt page where you can sign in and sign up, create an account. We have a contribute page where you can also add your own recipe, and then we have a contact page in case you want to contact the creators of the app. And then the reusable components that we have the navbar components that is consistent across all pages, the footer components that is consistent across all pages. We have an hero section as well. We have a search bar that allows you to search through the recipe data, and then we also have a button that is consistent across all pages. So the first feature is browse by letter. On the landing page, there's an A to Z grid like this that you can click on. So when you click on A, every recipe that starts with A comes up, or every recipe that starts with B comes up. This you can see it in the home page. From the hero section, you can also navigate to this section, and from the navbar, you can also navigate to this section. Next one. So search and filter by when you are already in the section for a recipe. Say for instance, you click on B, it takes you to this page, recipe starting with B, and you can use the search bar to search for a particular name or something similar, because sometimes there are lots of recipes under a particular letter. So one challenge that we had here is that the API endpoint did not allow us to limit the search to just one page. It has to go through all the entire recipe from A to Z. So it takes a while to think that out for you. Next one. So we also have the recipe detail page that I was trying to explain earlier, that aside the name of the recipe, the ingredients, the process to create it, we also have embedded video tutorials. Next question. So we have the contribute and authentication page. So the contribute page is also known as the share your recipe page. This is the page where you can add to the database. So this is just the front end design. We don't have like where we can take the actual data. This is just a design of how it would look if users want to contribute to the app. Next page. So the authentication page. So we have the sign in and sign up page. You can create accounts from sign up, and then you can also sign in. You can also sign in from the authentication page. Next slide. So our design decision. So we have rotating hero images, just something that is not static, that allows the page to be interactive. We have alphabetical browsing, that is, instead of just seeing all of the recipes at once, you can filter it. We have color scheme. We picked this orange pink color because we feel like it is warm, and when you're thinking about food, you don't need something that shouts at your face and all of that. And then we also made it responsive across different screen sizes. Next slide. So the challenges we face. The first one is handling inconsistent or missing data from the meal DB, such as recipes with missing video tutorials. So there are some of the recipes that don't have embedded video tutorials, and there are some it's just ingredients. There are no instructions. As I've mentioned earlier, the search bar is not unique to a particular page, but it searches the whole recipe, and then this is due to how the API endpoint is configured. So the third challenge is that managing state across multiple pages, including passing selected letter or filter through React Router. So because this is a shared project, I might have named my I might have named a particular say a particular function something API, how to reuse components and routing multiple pages, responsive design, how this design is going to be displayed on different screens, and then structuring projects. So I remember that when we're starting the project, I was concerned about how it was going to look and all of that. But with guidance from my instructor, he made us know that we have to look at the functionalities first before we are not concerned about styling and all of that. So we learned about product structuring. Next slide. So the future improvements, we are going to introduce user accounts that allow users to save and revisit their favorite recipes. As I mentioned, it's just a front-end project. We don't have the data experience, so we are not able to save the data that we collect through some of the UI interfaces that we have. So the second one is to integrate a backend and database to store submitted user recipes and authentication details. This is similar to what I just mentioned earlier. And then add meal planning and automatic shopping list generation. So you, aside from knowing the recipe and how to prepare it, you also need to know maybe how to get these recipes and how to plan for it. So the first one will be to implement dark mode and improve overall accessibility. This color is a bit bright and might not be accessible to certain users. So we need to implement some accessibility functions, know where to tone it down, and then how to switch. And then the fifth one will be to add pagination on Infinite Scroll for large set of recipe results. As I mentioned that it takes a while for the recipe to load. If there is a way we can like page it in such a way that you can move from page 1 to page 2 and it doesn't take a lot of time to get everything on board. Next slide. So in conclusion, Recipify successfully demonstrates a functional recipe discovery platform built with React. It consumes a reward API, and then we also apply core front-end principles, including the component reuse, routing, and responsive design. So the project reflects strong fundamentals in front-end development and provides a solid foundation for future enhancement. Next slide.
Okay.